Today we are going to do another versus video. This one has been one that I've had on the cards for a little while now, and it's one that I'm very excited to do, so let's get stuck in. Welcome back once again, malt lovers. My name is Wade and you are here with me on McIntyre's Malts for a versus challenge between two different whiskies that are very similar and ones that you will probably consider between the two when making a purchasing decision. It's going to be a lot of fun, and those two whiskies that we are doing today are the GlenAllachie 15-year-old and of course the GlenDronach 15-year-old. Both of these whiskies come in at 46% ABV. The GlenDronach is natural color and no longer states that it is non-chill filtered, and the GlenAllachie is natural color and non-chill filtered. Both have a 15-year age statement, and both of these whiskies are matured in both Oloroso and Pedro Jimenez sherry casks. So about as close as you can get in terms of, if you are considering buying one of these whiskies, you are likely also considering the other as which one is worth your time and money, right? In the Australian market, you're looking at about $150 to $160 for the GlenDronach 15 on your right, and you are looking at closer to $180 for the GlenAllachie 15 on your left. So I've had both poured into my Glencairn glasses here. This is the GlenDronach 15. And this is the GlenAllachie 15. Almost identical in color. So they've been sitting now for about 15 minutes with the tasting caps on to concentrate the aromas. So let's start now with the nosing on the GlenDronach 15. Beautiful, rich wood oak notes coming through right away. Christmas cake. That old leather, old dusty libraries. There's this lovely like rum raisin smell to this one. Alcohol soaked raisins, right? The nuttiness is there as well. And now I'm getting the cereal notes, those grain notes are coming through. Exactly what you expect on this whiskey. Lovely nose. Let's now nose the GlenAllachie 15-year-old. There's a more pronounced sweetness on this one. Similar notes, but the sweetness is almost like a very juicy plum. Even some Turkish delight. You still have those woody oak notes there. But the sweetness is more prominent. A little touch of cocoa as well. Interesting. There are similarities between the two, but there is also a very clear difference. Let's now try the GlenDronach 15 on the palate. Cheers. Lovely. Beautiful. Still a nice oiliness to the texture. These rich, deep sort of toffee notes are coming through. The dryness from the Oloroso is very much present. The raisins are there. There's a slight mustiness on this one. Back to that old dusty books in the library. Toffee and nuttiness with a dry finish. Medium finish. It's a good whiskey. Okay, little sip of water before I try the GlenAllachie 15-year-old. On to the GlenAllachie 15. Cheers. Interesting. Loads of musk, right? You ever had those pink musk stick lollies as a kid? It feels like the PX influence is more dominant on the GlenAllachie. It felt more watered down. Oh, beautiful rose water finish. Now the sweetness is just lingering at the back of my palate. Still has a nice sharpness. There's a little wood dry note that comes through, probably due to the Oloroso influence. Given that GlenDronach can't state that it's non-chill filtered anymore, the texture is actually better on the GlenDronach than the GlenAllachie, which can state that it is non-chill filtered. There is overlap here between the two styles and the expected cask influence that I'm looking for on these, but I would say there is more difference and more that is separating the two than is aligned and bringing them together, right? Very sweet and elegant tastes and aromas on this one. It's almost like a masculine whiskey versus a feminine whiskey, if that helps to express my point. These are both great whiskeys, and there's no clear winner for me at this point, so I think that I need to go through another quick nosing and a final tasting and finish on the palate and make my decision on today's verses. So back to the GlenDronach 15 now. A lot of character. Very pleasing. Just a really, really nice traditional sherried style. GlenDronach 15, final sip and finish. Superb. It's this perfect balance. Good heat, good texture, good flavor, touches of ginger, the Christmas cake, just classic sherried whiskey. And now the final nose and sip and finish on the GlenAllachie 15. Oh. Interesting. Tropical fruit banana, like those banana candy lollies, those little fake banana candies. They're almost like the same texture as the musk sticks, right? Like banana musk. Aussies will know what I'm talking about. Even 7D mango, the dried Filipino mango on the palate. comes on with much more of those floral type, delicate, feminine scents, as I mentioned, much sweeter. Then the dryness comes through at the end. On the GlenAllachie 15, it feels masterfully done in that you can detect both influence from the PX cask and the Oloroso cask, which I'm sure is no easy feat to pull off. These are both great whiskies. For me, what my flavor profile is, what I'm enjoying right now, the one that is the winner for me today is the GlenDronach 15-year-old. It's just that quintessential sherried whiskey, the richness without being overly sweet, the beautiful balance of character and the woodiness and the leather and the Christmas cake, the spice, just the right influence from the Oloroso. It hit the mark for me. It's a better price in my market. It might not go on as much of a journey as the GlenAllachie does, but it's not lacking. What do you guys think? Let me know. What is your choice of the two whiskies in today's verses? Would you have picked the GlenDronach 15 like I have, or would you have gone for the GlenAllachie 15? Thank you very much, guys. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please make sure to click subscribe and like this video down below. If you are interested in seeing another versus video that I did not too long ago, have a look at this one here. I think you'll like this one too. All right, guys. Cheers.